We have been talking about this for a number of years.
Harrisonburg City Council recently passed an ordinance which would regulate short-term rentals, commonly known as Airbnb. Adam Fletcher is the Harrisonburg Director of Planning and Community Development. He says they've been working on regulating short-term rentals since 2016.
We have the online platform where people can put their home up for rent or a bedroom up for rent, and then have transient occupancies.
Most people use the short-term rentals near James Madison University during graduation or football games, but the problem was they were not regulated.
So basically, you're just having lodging establishments pop up in homes where either the zoning doesn't permit it or they're in locations where hasn't been planned for. So there's so many different issues.
He explained the process of the Airbnb regulations recently adopted by the Harrisonburg City Council.
To operate a short-term rental in the city of Harrisonburg, you have to apply for a special use permit. A special use permit requires public hearings at both Planning Commission and City Council. It's a relatively hefty fee. It's a $425 application fee plus $30 per acre. So what you end up basically paying for a minimum is $455.
He says if the application is approved based upon how it was presented, then the applicant can operate a short-term rental.
They could have presented it as owner occupied, where they'll be there present, during the lodging period. They could have presented it as I own the unit, but when I rent it out, I won't be there. They could have presented it as I own the property, but I don't live there, and I'm just going to operate it on, just a short-term rental basis. So it will be very site-specific.
Beginning August 1st, the city will start enforcing the notices to comply. That means city officials will routinely check Airbnb websites for people operating in Harrisonburg.
What we're going to do before August 1st is that we're going to go onto the sites and where we can actually determine where they're operating and send them a notice to say, hey, here's the new law. You've been operating illegally. You're going to have to comply. You have to pay your business tax or your lodging tax. You have to get your business license. And if you want to actually do the use here, you have to get a special use permit.
Fletcher says the city has worked to ensure the short-term rentals regulations are in place.
I want us to help the community to know that, we're really trying to work with them to try to keep affordable housing under control, to help give, voice to folks in the neighborhood that may or may not want this particular use in their neighborhood. And to do what the community wants here.
He stressed addressing issues which have come forth during the formulation of the guidelines for operating short-term rentals. And so the city wants to make sure that people understand this is not a gentrification issue. You're not moving out people who cannot afford to live in the city.
That was actually our concern. Yeah, that was staff's concern.
In Harrisonburg, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.